a city that stood for over 1,000 years, falls, its walls breached, its people scattered, its legacy shaken. The last remnants of the Roman Empire, once the most powerful civilization the world had ever known, are swept away. The Christian bastion of Constantinople lies in ruins, and from its ashes a new force rises. The Ottomans, ambitious, ascendant, unstoppable. For over a millennium, Constantinople was more than just a city. It was a beacon of civilization, a bridge between Europe and Asia, East and West. Founded by Emperor Constantine the Great in the year 330 AD, it was declared Nova Roma, the New Rome. It became the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire. While the Western Roman Empire crumbled under waves of barbarian invasions in the 5th century, Constantinople endured. It grew into a center of trade, culture, religion, and military might. Its location was unrivaled. Situated on a triangular peninsula between the Sea of Marmara, the Golden Horn, and the Bosporus Strait, Constantinople was naturally protected on 3 sides by water. What nature didn't guard, human engineering did. The Theodosian walls, constructed in the 5th century, were legendary. Triple-layered, standing up to 12 meters tall and stretching over 6 kilometers, they repelled siege after siege. Arab armies tried. Bulgars tried. Russ's raiders tried. All failed. Inside the walls stood the Hagia Sophia, the crown jewel of Orthodox Christianity. Completed in 537 under Emperor Justinian, its massive dome seemed to float upon the heavens. It was both a symbol of divine glory and imperial might, but time erodes even the strongest stone. By the 1400s, the Byzantine Empire was a shadow of its former self. What had once been an empire stretching from Italy to Egypt had shrunk to a few isolated territories, and the city of Constantinople itself. Its population, once hundreds of thousands, had dwindled to around 50,000. Its army was meager, its economy shattered. The greatest blow came from fellow Christians. In 1204, during the Fourth Crusade, Western European crusaders, originally on their way to the Holy Land, diverted their mission. Instead, they attacked and sacked Constantinople. The city was looted, its relics stolen or destroyed. The Hagia Sophia was desecrated. A Latin empire was established for nearly 60 years until the Byzantines retook the city in 1261. But they never recovered. In the east, a new power emerged, the Ottoman Turks. Under Osman V and his successors, they steadily expanded into former Byzantine lands. In 1451, a young sultan named Mehmed II came to power. He was just 19 years old. Some thought he was too young, too naive. But Mehmed was not to be underestimated. He was highly educated, spoke several languages, and was obsessed with strategy and conquest. To him, Constantinople was not just a city, it was the key to world empire. He is said to have declared, "To me, Constantinople is worth the whole world." He prepared meticulously. He strengthened the Rumeli Hizara, a massive fortress on the European side of the Bosporus, allowing him to control naval traffic and block aid to the city. He hired Orban, a Hungarian engineer, to build massive bombards, cannons so large they required dozens of oxen to move, and fired stone balls over 600 pounds in weight. Such firepower had never been used against Constantinople before. By the spring of 1453, Mehmed had assembled an invasion force of between 80,000 to 100,000 men. This included elite janissaries, cavalry, artillery, and irregular troops. He brought with him a navy of around 125 ships to blockade the city from the sea. Inside Constantinople, Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos prepared for the final defense. He had only about 7,000 defenders. Among them were Greek soldiers, armed civilians, and 700 Genoese mercenaries under the command of Giovanni Giustiniani, a skilled and experienced military leader. The defenders were brave but vastly outnumbered. The siege began on April 6, 1453. The great bombards roared, pounding the Theodosian walls day and night. Massive breaches opened in the ancient walls, only to be quickly repaired by the exhausted defenders. Byzantines used every tool at their disposal: Greek fire, boiling oil, hot sand, counter mines to stop Ottoman sappers, and wooden barricades behind broken walls. On the sea, the Byzantines blocked the Golden Horn using a massive iron chain stretched across the water. But Mehmed pulled off a stunning feat. He ordered dozens of ships dragged overland across greased logs, bypassing the chain entirely. His navy now surrounded the city from all sides. Still, the city endured. Week after week, the defenders held. Offers of surrender were rejected. Emperor Constantine is said to have declared, "I would rather die than live as a sultan's servant." By May, the defenders were desperate. Supplies ran low. Giustiniani was wounded, possibly fatally, and his men's morale crumbled. The final assault came on May 29, 1453. Just before dawn, Mehmed launched a full-scale attack. Wave after wave of Ottoman soldiers surged toward the walls. The defenders, exhausted and injured, could barely hold. Some say a small postern gate was left unlocked or opened by mistake, allowing Ottoman troops to flood in. Once inside, the defense collapsed. Emperor Constantine XI fought bravely. Refusing to flee, he cast off his imperial garments and died sword in hand. His body was never conclusively identified. The Ottomans poured into the city. Churches were looted. The Hagia Sophia was turned into a mosque. Thousands were killed or enslaved. It was the end of an era. Constantinople, capital of the Eastern Roman Empire for over 1,100 years, had fallen. The Byzantine Empire ceased to exist. Mehmed II entered the city as a conqueror. He ordered the protection of civilians who surrendered. He proclaimed himself Caesar of Rome, claiming succession to the Roman emperors. He renamed Constantinople Istanbul, and it became the capital of the Ottoman Empire for nearly 500 years. From there, the Ottomans would expand into Europe, Asia, and Africa, becoming one of the greatest empires in history. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Middle Ages and the dawn of a new era. It shook the Christian world. It cut off trade routes to the east, leading Europeans to seek new paths, which would spark the age of exploration. It also triggered the migration of Greek scholars to the west, helping to ignite the Renaissance. One city, one siege, 1,000 years of history, brought to an end in 53 days. The fall of Constantinople was not just a military conquest, it was a turning point in world history.